its way through the Twin Cities as we speak. It's given us some rain and quite the light show outside as well.
I love watching lightning. It captured my attention on the drive-in, John.
It's beautiful out there if you love storms, but it's tough if you want to go driving in this stuff. We have seen some very heavy rain, depending on where you live. Just taking you through where the pockets are. Heavy rain at the moment, Eagan down towards Rosemont. That is some very heavy rain coming into the Hastings stretch. That'll go into Woodbury as well. This is more southeast, and then we have another one up in Blaine. So if you're leaving right now in Blaine, very slow go. But then West Metro, quiet. That's not going to last because there's another strong couple of cells here, one in Waconia and Delano that's just going to work through what's going to come into Plymouth and Wayzata. And then you have one in Belle Plaine and Jordan. That's going to come up 212. So it looks like the Metro, we're going to fill this stuff back in. Also going up to Melrose down over to St. Cloud. This heavy rain going to move over 94. So it looks like we're going to get soaked one way or another. Give yourself extra time. We'll track this whole thing out in your forecast. Megan.
Hey, that's some good advice this morning. Also, make sure those windshield wipers are working really well because it's already been a really rough morning out there on the roads. As you can see, we've got a number of crashes to tell you about. So the first in River Grove Heights, 494, we've got a crash in the westbound lanes between Delaware Avenue and Highway 3. You can see it is backing up traffic quite a bit here. You see all those vehicles that are moving along pretty slowly this morning. Also, Richfield, Highway 100 southbound between Benton Avenue and Highway 62. We do have another crash that is just around the bend here, so we can't see the actual site of the crash, but I will tell you we've seen many law enforcement vehicles headed in that direction. Jason?
Yeah, just another reminder to take it slow out there on the roads this morning. Megan, thank you. Developing right now in D.C., lawmakers on Capitol Hill have less than 48 hours. You see the countdown right there to make a deal and avoid a government shutdown. With time running out, House Republicans say they have a bill ready that could fund the government for a little longer.
NBC's Ryan Nobles is in Washington right now, where a vote could happen in just a few hours.
There is no doubt that time is running out. We are now just a day away from the government potentially shutting down. It's scheduled to happen at midnight on Saturday. And right now here on Capitol Hill, there's no real breakthrough that would prevent that from happening. So far, the Senate is working on their own version of a short-term spending plan. That version would not make it through the House of Representatives. Meanwhile, the House has plans on Friday to pass their own version of a short-term spending plan that probably won't make it through the Senate. So that means a staring contest between the two sides that will likely end in the government being shut down. That means millions of federal workers will go without paychecks, national parks will get shut down, and aid, critical aid that comes to many needy people will also be cut off. We'll take a look at the stakes coming up on the Today Show.
And as the country prepares to shut down, we're learning this morning some House Republicans could try to overthrow Speaker Kevin McCarthy in the coming days.
And get this, according to the Washington Post, his replacement could be Minnesota Congressman Tom Emmer. Cece is following this developing story.
Hey, good morning, guys. So take a look at this Washington Post article. It's posted about 10 hours ago here, but it says that House Republicans could try to oust McCarthy as early as next week. And that's according to the Post. They think that Emmer understands their concerns better than McCarthy, and they think Emmer will better deliver conservative results. Now, we have reached out to Emmer's office within the past few hours about the situation, and we're still waiting to hear back from them. But Emmer did tell the Washington Post that he fully supports McCarthy and has zero interest in plotting against him. Now, here's how we got to this point. So these hardliners say McCarthy has wasted months of valuable time over the summer by refusing to negotiate spending bills that address their demands. And then on top of that, this morning, McCarthy is trying to pass a short-term stopgap measure to keep the government open. But that means working with Democrats. And working with Democrats to fund the government would almost force a vote on whether to oust him. So McCarthy faces a big decision here: to keep his job as Speaker or keep the government from shutting down. And if it does come to a vote on whether to oust McCarthy, Democrats would have to decide to help oust him or team up with McCarthy's GOP allies and bail him out. And so far, Dems have been pretty quiet on whether they'll save a leader who supported Trump after the January 6th attack, and more recently launched an impeachment inquiry into President Biden.
All right, thank you, Cece. In about 2 hours, the White Bear Lake Police Department will send their school resource officers back to school campuses. And in the last 13 hours, Eagan Police announced they're also reinstating their SROs. This comes after several police departments pulled their officers from schools after a new restraint law went into effect. Hennepin County Attorney Mary Moriarty is now saying she does not believe SROs can use reasonable force unless death or bodily harm are imminent. Her statement contradicts that of Attorney General Keith Ellison, who said he believes SROs, like any other police officer, can use reasonable force as needed to fulfill their duties.
6:06 on the clock this morning, and if you own a home in St. Paul, listen up. In the last 16 hours, Mayor Melvin Carter signed a resolution raising the maximum property tax levy for the city. As of 2024, the sum of all property taxes collected in the city can't be more than $208.5 million. That's a 3.7% increase from this year. But since the commercial property values are going up faster than homes, residents could actually see a slight decrease in their bill. A reminder that Minnesota's cold weather rule takes effect on Sunday. So that means even if you struggle to pay your heating bill, your heat will not be turned off through the end of next April. The only requirement, CenterPoint Energy customers must set up a payment plan.
It's the end of an era for an iconic Belle Plaine apple orchard. Emma Crumby's orchard and farm closed quietly and now has a sign on the property thanking customers for 43 years of business. They entered a purchase agreement with the city of Belle Plaine, and the city administrator says they're considering turning one of the buildings into a police department.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a huge change. I mean, we're losing, it brought in a lot of business into town.
Well, I always took all my kids out to the apple orchard, to the, all times of the year. And, it was just a kind of a Belle Plaine thing.
The owner told KARE 11 that his family is retiring. They intend to sell the fall harvest, but festivities open to the public have ended.
This morning, we're getting an inside look at the $14 million improvements made at the U of M's Mariucci Arena.
I'm Morgan Wolf. Tonight, the Gopher men's hockey team will be able to practice on their new ice for the first time. Mariucci Arena went under a $14 million construction project that began 7 months ago and just wrapped up this week. Now, they resized the Olympic-size ice to closer, more NHL regulation size, and players say that this will allow them to play a little bit faster and just pick up the pace of the games. With this, they were able to add in 250 more seats.